to a 5-point lead. Haliburton tries another three. Bang!
This is Tyrese Haliburton, and at the quarter mark of the season, he is not only the star experiencing the biggest breakout, but he has the keys to the Pacers' offense firmly in his possession.
Haliburton tracked off Bailey's three, and he puts it.
Haliburton has been the driving force for what is on track to be among the best NBA offenses ever, if not the best. As a first-time All-Star a season ago, Haliburton has improved his game to a whole other level. Despite the biggest knock on him coming into the league was a supposed inability to be a high-volume scorer, Haliburton's 26.1 points per game places him 12th in the league, while his 12 assists per game put him atop of the association. He has done this while both reducing his turnovers and increasing his scoring efficiency. Basketball Reference tracks a stat called TS+, which is simply how many points more or less a player has scored compared to the league average efficiency on the same number of scoring attempts. Last year, Haliburton's plus 79.5 finished at a very respectable 41st place, a ranking more impressive than it might appear given the prevalence of lower usage dive and dunk bigs on that particular leaderboard. Through his first 19 games of the 2023 to 2024 season, he has already added 69.2 points via this metric, which is third in the NBA. Even as early as last season, there were signs of this potential. Like most superstars, Haliburton does things unconventionally, from his shoulder-mounted jumper to his discovery that jump passes are good now. An unusual style does not always make a star, as there are a lot more players like Kyle Anderson welding their way into solid effectiveness at best. But when that unconventionality turns into league-leading playmaking combined with an efficient 20 points per game scoring, as Haliburton has managed a year ago, the results are much more than merely solid. It was more than enough to warrant him his first All-Star nod last season, but since that time, he has gotten even better in the least expected way, by pumping his usage rate up to the high 20s with the odd jump shot mechanics, which has raised questions about his ability to create his own shot, turning into another strength. Haliburton's 7 pull-up 3 attempts per game is only second to Luka Doncic, but Haliburton has made 42% of them. Another unusual aspect about Haliburton and the Pacers in general has been their ball movement. It is common for teams to have a low overall assist rate, with the central star doing a lot of the playmaking, but everyone else largely being a finisher. The Pacers sit 13th in percentage of assisted field goals this season at 63%, and if you compare that to other teams led by ball-dominant stars, there is a major difference. The free-flowing style and pace at which Indiana plays at makes comparisons with Steve Nash's 7 seconds or less Suns inevitable, but with a touch more of offensive aggression from the engine, Nash's highest use rate on the Phoenix teams was 23.3. However, Haliburton achieved 23.8 last year and is on pace to achieve 26.4 this year. As great as he has been this season, and that too early to discuss but here it is anyway MVP buzz is fully warranted, we shouldn't fully consider him for franchise or tier 1 status until he performs at a similar level in the postseason. Certainly, the run to the finals of the inaugural in-season tournament was a great first step, but some impressive wins in a single elimination format is a far cry from having to beat the same team 4 times after they have had a substantial time to prepare for him. In the context of this Pacers team, doing it in the playoffs means something between making the second round or a competitive first round loss to one of the established East powers. But that's a question that cannot be answered until April or May. Until then, it's best to simply enjoy his emergence as perhaps one of the league's most one-of-one-like stars.